Welcome to Clear Vision, a novel by Pamela Doremus. Tuesday, September 1st. The dust mop swept back and forth, gently gathering all the messes of the day. Each movement aligned perfectly with the last to touch the whole surface completely, without going over any spot too often or missing an area. Each pass created harmony and smoothness, catching up little stray bits that even the cleanest students left behind. A pencil tip, a bit of crayon wrapper, a note passed behind the teacher's back. Each a relic of a day well spent at school. Some days, Joel thought about making a documentary. He'd start from the pile of dust, then trace each little fragment back through the day that created it. Simple objects had so much to offer. Joel continued to sweep, enjoying the strength of his arms and the shine of the clean floor left behind. A school of 400 students gave the maintenance team, also known as Joel, lots of opportunities to create order. New ones every night. He loved the peace and tranquility. He loved Tuesdays. There were no evening activities. The whole school was his. Tuesday nights, all the details were taken care of, from floors to ceiling lights. If there was one place that revealed lack of love, it was the large plastic covers of the fluorescent lights when they were full of bugs. In each classroom, Joel cleaned out the lights, dusted shelving, mopped floors, straightened papers, restoring order. In Mrs. Chambers' room, it was the floors that needed him. She must have done a project with lots of glue. There were dry drops all over the floor. First the wet cloth, just a bit of water, light pressure, small circles, gently smoothing until the spot was gone. Then follow with a buffing cloth in small circles, leaving no streak. The chips in the floor couldn't be helped. They made the room homey, sort of lived in. It gave the teachers the freedom to do projects that made messes. Joel would be here to clean them up. Watering the plants in Mrs. Hence's room, checking on the animals in the science lab, order swept through the school. The hamsters had walked through their water again. He dumped out the old water, carefully cleaned the corners of the dish. After placing the dish in the cage, he scooped up Hammy. The creature radiated nervous energy, but somehow it felt right. Joel stroked the creature, poured water into the dish, and put him back in the cage. He'd walk right into the water again, but at least it was clean for a few seconds. He saved the reset room for last. It was Joel's favorite place. The room felt both lively and settled. He didn't see how Miss Verity did it. She didn't even have a desk. That music stand she called a standing desk did not count. He dusted the top of the frame screwed into the wall. The pictures were new each week. It had become his Tuesday night art show. These were symmetrical butterflies, houses, and suns. Strangely, each half was done in a different color crayon. They weren't very pretty. Maybe next week. Moving back to the shelves, Joel emptied the garbage and recycling bins, re-rolled one of the mats that was a bit messy, and dusted off all the containers and flat places. He shook the dust from the fabric flowers out over the floor. It would all be picked up by the mop later. A few more swipes of the rag and the shelves were finished. You are perfect. What a strange thing to put on the wall. No one was perfect. There was so much to know and to learn. So much disorder. Miss Verity called it her God wall. He'd like to believe in her God. No matter. After cleaning the floor, Joel walked down the hall, past the school offices, through the cafeteria and kitchens. He threw the trash in the dumpster and the paper in the recycling, reserving the newspapers for Mrs. Smith's vermiculture worms. With the last lights out and order restored, it was time to go home.